Well, welcome everybody. I am so excited to bring Lisa English to you today. She is a mother of two and a wife and an entrepreneur. And over the years, she has changed a lot in her life. She realized that there was a natural alternatives to everything. So she really truly wanted to find the best options for her and her family. And so she changed how she lived, what she ate, and what products they were using within their home so that they were able to lead a more clean living lifestyle. And a big part of that journey for her is using essential oils. I love essential oils, but I am a little bit my knowledge is like this. So I am super excited for Lisa to come and share with us, to share the information that she has learned over the years on how you can really truly take care of your health and how you can overcome the feeling of overwhelm with all the different tools and different things that are out there that can just bombard you because there's so much information. We were just talking about this prior. We can become that information overload where we're just become paralyzed because there's so many different resources at our fingertips. She is going to share simple ways that we can use essential oils in our life in order to combat stress and improve our sleep and our emotions. So I truly don't want to take up much more time. I just want to sit here and learn from her, and I'm going to give her the floor so she can share her wisdom and her knowledge that she has been able to gain over the last number of years in this realm.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Stacy. I'm super excited to be here. Now, I want to apologize. As soon as I share my screen, you're not going to see my face because my computer's not cooperating. So we're in tablet mode right now. So my apologies. So the last couple of years, we've definitely looked at our life and swapped out so many things. And I've really kind of found I don't know if niche is the right word, but my calling, my niche, whatever you want to say. I love making things. So swapping everything over to natural was kind of step one. Then it was like, how can we improve our lifestyle? And then how can I do it myself? I have all these essential oils, like you would die if you saw every cupboard, every counter, I have essential oils everywhere. So I have all these oils and I want to be able to use them and make things on my own. So I work for doTERRA Essential Oils. So we have a lot of pre-made products out there, but I like making my own things. So some of the things I'm going to talk about, I'll give you some ideas on how you can make them yourselves, combining different, blends and things like that. But we'll just give you a little eye into how I deal with life by using essential oils. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I will see you at the end. We can have a question. If you have any questions, Stacy, you can definitely ask away at the end, because if any of our watchers later on, maybe you're answering their question too. So we can do that at the end if you'd like, but feel free. It's open, like just ask questions as you have them, or we can do them at the end. It's totally up to you.
And I will go off screen just so that you don't feel guilty.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's get going here. So can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, and just let me know as soon as it loads. Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Perfect. Okay, so I teach a lot of wellness education classes. So this is one of our series that we talk about a lot. Anytime I do classes for women, if I do classes where women are hosting or we're into any different types of groups, anything like that, the first thing that we talk about is stress. Okay. And then that comes, emotions are connected with that as well. And then what happens is it affects our sleep too. So it's a really good combination to talk about all three together, because it's super important and they all play a role in each other. So if you're always stressed, we're going to talk about some natural ways to relieve them. And of course, it includes essential oils and how you can deal with it. We don't know a crazy amount of sorry, the word that is on the tip of my tongue is just not coming out. um, Everyone is different. Okay. So me generalizing in one area, it might be very different for each person that, we're dealing with. So I want you guys to take this with a grain of salt and take this as, a starting point. Okay. Because each oil is going to benefit and work differently for each person. So we just have to start somewhere. So this is a really good starting point. So feel free, make notes, ask questions. Stress is super crazy because it affects us both physically and mentally. And that's why it really does plays a huge role in our emotions as well. Mm-hmm. If we could only get it under control and find stress relievers that can really make a difference and really work, it would change so many different things in our lives. So while stress can sometimes be a positive, a motivating factor at times, such as when you're under pressure to perform well at work, or you have an important exam, it makes you work harder. It makes you set a plan. It makes you research. It makes you do all these different things. There's also crazy side effects that stress is not good for us, right? When we think of stress, most people think of the bad, of course, right? There's chronic stress that can impact your body. It can affect your diet. It can affect your sleep. It can affect everything in your life, which is pretty crazy. So we're going to talk about a few different things here. So quickly, this is me. Hello, everyone. You've already heard the background of me, so I will just skip through that. I wanted to talk quickly about a few basics about essential oils, just in case we have some people that are jumping on and watching this that just really have no idea about essential oils. So there's 3 cool things that I'd like you to know. They are safe, effective, and affordable. One thing I want you to understand is that not every company and every essential oil that you find is treated the same. Okay, so doTERRA essential oils are 100% natural and safe. There's no side effects and there's no addictions. They're extracts from plants with amazing health benefits. Just to give you an idea, they are 50 to 70% more powerful than herbs. We all know that herbs are amazing for you and there's so many benefits from them. Essential oils are crazy potent. So 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is compared to 28 peppermint teas.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So it's 50 to 70% more powerful. So when we think of peppermint, it's an energizing oil. It promotes clear breathing. It can cool your body. It can relieve tension. If you think of 1 drop of essential oil, it can relieve head tension. 1 drop, that's it. Even if you had that in a roller, using fractionated coconut oil mixed in there, it could be less than a drop that could actually get rid of a headache, which is pretty cool. They're super effective. Just like I said, they're so potent and pure that they can help benefit in so many different ways. If you guys can see this screen, in the middle there is a cell. On the outside of the cell, the little pink thing that looks like a bean, that is the bacteria. On the inside of the cell, that is a virus. So I want you to think, when you have a bacteria infection, well, when you have an infection in general, you go to the doctors, right? The doctor tells you, okay, it's a bacteria infection. I can give you a prescription, 7 to 10 days, and you should be feeling better. But when you go to the doctors and they tell you it's a viral infection, what do? They tell you to go home, drink lots of water, get lots of sleep, and it will take its course. And the reason for that is prescription drugs are water-based. The outside of a cell is oil. So oil and water do not mix. Think of when you drop oil into water, it separates, right? If you're putting oil in your bath or whatever, it separates. So it doesn't actually permeate the cell. So that's why prescription drugs can actually only deal with bacterial infections, stuff that's on the outside. So essential oils are oil. So oil and oil mix. So that means essential oils can permeate the cell membrane to help get rid of that virus, to help deal with that's the inside of the cell. So On Guard is our blend that promotes healthy immune function. It soothes sore throat and cleanses your hands and your home. Now, think of what I just told you. It's super affordable because if you go to the doctors and you get a prescription, generally you're losing half a day or a day's work, right? You're also getting a prescription, which costs anywhere from $40 to $200 on average. So you're saving hundreds of dollars a year in medical costs just by using oils instead of heading off to the doctors. So what we do in our house, anytime anything comes up, doesn't matter if it's a sickness, a fungus, just anything weird, it could be emotions. We're going to try to deal with it with essential oils first before we make the decision to head to the doctors. Whereas prior to that, if we had an earache, we headed straight to the doctors. Whereas one drop of lavender or tea tree can help us with that now. So we're super excited that essential oils are out there and that we found them. I wish it was 10 years earlier when my kids had a lot of these issues, with their health and being kids and getting into everything, right, when they're in school. But I'm super grateful that we found them and we are using them in our daily lives. So there's 3 ways we can use essential oils: aromatic, topical, and internal. So anytime I talk with people, I suggest to them, if you have an issue that is persistent and that, maybe it's chronic, maybe it's something that's happening daily, you want to make sure and use all 3 forms to help you. So aromatic is anything in a diffuser. It cleans the air. It affects your mood. It supports your respiratory system. Even if you have something smelly in the air, it's going to help get rid of that smell. Topical is putting it on your skin. So I make a roller for everything. So when I first jumped into essential oils, I wanted to replace my medicine cabinet. So I went through, I dumped out my medicine cabinet, and I literally made a roller for everything. So if the kids had stomach issues, they went and got the stomach roller, the tummy tamer, whatever. If they had sore muscles, they went and grabbed the ache roller. So at this point, I was able to let the kids deal with their health on their own and feel comfortable with them doing so because I knew they were safe. And then we've got internal. Not every oil can be taken internally, and definitely not every oil can be taken internally from other companies. So every company is different. So you want to make sure that if you're using essential oils, that you know that you can take them internally if you're not using doTERRA's. So you can put them in water, you can put them in a veggie capsule, you can put them under your tongue, you can do all sorts of things. I bake with them. I use them regularly in cooking dinner. It's so much fun. There's so many ways that you can use them. Now, when I started, the main focus was my medicine cabinet and diffusing, but there's so many different ways you can add it into your life. We use supplements, we use all these different things. So it's pretty cool. So let's get on to what we want to talk about, and that is sleep, stress, and emotions. So would you believe that 75% to 90% of all doctor's office visits are related to conditions caused by stress? The people going into the doctor's office, they might not realize that that is the cause, but that is how effective stress can be on our bodies. So how exactly does stress negatively affect our health in so many ways? It mostly boils down to changes in our hormones, which then cascade into increased inflammation and various other problems into our health.
Mm-hmm. Stress almost took my life out, actually. And
oh, really?
The doctors told me I was premenopause, so wreaking havoc on the hormones. But I was literally 3 points away from needing a pacemaker because all my blood was caked together.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I was over 200 pounds and showing up as anorexic because my body was repelling all the nutrients. I just wasn't able to. I could eat like a rabbit and still gain 10 pounds just by eating a carrot stick. It was stress induced. So I know quite well that stress can kill. It's not just a saying that floats around so free willy-nilly, but it can actually truly take out your life.
100%. And every person deals with stress differently, and our bodies also are affected differently. So uncontrolled stress experience over a long period of time is considered chronic. It's dangerous, and it's capable of increasing someone's risk for heart disease, diabetes, weight gain, obesity, mental disorders, autoimmune, digestive, and even cancer. Yeah. So this is something that you definitely need to tackle. Doesn't matter if you don't realize if it's stress or not. It's one of the first places that you can look. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 meaning not at all, and 10 meaning this is a big problem, how often are you aware of being stressed in your daily life? How concerned are you about the quantity and quality of your sleep? And how frequently do your emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? There's definitely a time of the month where my emotions, my stress, everything is very heightened, but I know it's coming. So I have it in my calendar so that I know the week before my menstrual cycle, I need to be taking certain things to combat me losing my mind, basically,
Yeah.
and not killing my family, right? And because I know it's coming, I can prepare for it. It makes such a difference when you know it's coming. There's also times, of course, that you're not going to know it's coming. You're not going to know that someone's going to upset you. If you're walking into a funeral or a stressful situation, something at work, you can prepare yourself for that situation. So let's talk about what kind of oils we can use to help you deal with it. So let's face it, the stress we face today isn't going anywhere, which is exactly why it's more important than ever to find natural ways to bust stress that work well for us. So if you're up against large amounts of stress in your life, and really who isn't to some extent, right?
Right.
Studies show that you can greatly benefit from carving out more time in your busy schedule for things like exercise, meditation, spending time outdoors, and keeping up with fun hobbies. Now, one thing when I sit down with people, we talk about the doTERRA pyramid. Now, I should really have it in every slide because I talk about it all the time. But there is an oil for everything. But what I want you to understand is if you're not eating right, if you're not exercising, if you are allowing and putting toxins into your life is not going to be changed by the oils. It might take a symptom away for some time, but it's not going to get rid of the root issue. So you have to understand that in order to have optimal health, it doesn't matter what issue you have, you need to be doing those things. It needs to be a starting point. And then you look at, okay, what oils can help me with fatigue? What oils can help me with stress? And then you work from there. Okay, so Serenity. Serenity is one of our amazing blends that is great for calming, composing, and placating. So Serenity has lavender, Roman chamomile, and oils that are going to help calm your body down. So we use this daily, whether it's Serenity or even just lavender by ourselves. We're spraying it on our pillows. We have it in a roller to help calm us at night. We, what else do we have? Oh my gosh, it is honestly everywhere. We put it in the bath if we're having a bath before bed. I have it in shower melts so that you can breathe it in while you're having a shower. It's a really important oil to help calm you. So whether that's during the day or you just want to get into the mode and start the relaxation and calming at night so that you can sleep better, it really is there to help you with peace and serenity. That's why the name is Serenity. It's such a great name. Smells amazing. It's very floral. So one thing I like to point out is everyone has different scents. So there's going to be scents that you don't like the smell of. Keep in mind, there are a million different oils that I can suggest that do the same thing. These are just the top ones that work and that are the most common that people buy for those reasons. So I just want you to understand that. So Citrus Bliss, it is very invigorating, stimulating, and motivating. Anything citrus, I want you to remember, is grown high. So it's grown on trees, so citrus. So anything grown high is an uplifting essential oil. So whether it's our blend Citrus Bliss, which has a bunch of different citrus oils, or it's just wild orange or lemon, it is going to do the similar thing. It's going to be invigorating. It's going to be stimulating. It is going to get you moving. It is going to put a smile on your face. So if you're just feeling down in the dumps, throw some citrus, any citrus, into a diffuser, and it will change the way you feel instantly. The fastest way to affect your emotions is by breathing it in. Okay? It takes 26 seconds to get into your skin, but it's about 8 seconds when you're breathing it in. So it's pretty crazy. Just imagine, think of a scent that you love the smell of. When you smell it, what does it do? It puts a smile on your face. So that's what you want to do. You want to really figure out the oils that you like, the scents that you like, so that if you're in an emotional mood where you need uplifting, go grab that oil that does that for you, right? Puts a smile on your face. Then we have our grounding blend. It is balance. It is very reassuring, consoling. It smells very woodsy, and it's grown on the ground. So anything grown on the ground is generally, it's a grounding blend. So balance is something we put on our body every single morning on the bottoms of my feet. I love the smell of it, so I use it as a perfume. I put it on my bracelet. I put it on my necklace because I want to be breathing that in all day long because it smells so good. And it really does set your day off right. When you start with that in the morning, it is amazing. And then we kind of move to the citrus oils. Think of the afternoon, right? When you're like, oh, I would really like something sweet, or you're falling asleep, you know, you just need that pick me up. A citrus oil is really great for that. Same with elevation. Elevation is a blend that we have that is very inspiring, encouraging, and cheering. So again, it's going to elevate your mood. It does have citrus in there. So if you're stressed, what's one thing we want to do? We want to elevate your mood and change how you're feeling. So grounding helps us maybe not get to the point of stress right off the get-go, but the citrus helps stimulate and uplift our mood. The same with elevation. And they're all different smelling essential oils. Now, keep in mind, these are all blends. We have a million other different oils that do the same thing. You know, we've got any citrus, we've got our lavender, balance is a blend. I'm trying to think of what's in it. There's definitely some trees in there. So think of walking through a forest. It just puts a smile on your face. Right here, this is our adaptive line. So these are some other options that we have. So the 4 previous ones are our top 4 oils for blends. This is also a blend. It's called Adaptive, and this is the Adaptive Collection. It's kind of a 3-part series to help with anything and everything mental health related. So the best stress relievers is basically using all 3 of these. So like I said, putting it in your diffuser, taking it internally, and putting it on your skin. So this collection gives you that, and it is a blend of oils. It has lavender, it has wild orange. The name of it is perfect because it literally helps you adapt to any situation. So just to give you an example, I posted on my Facebook page, I was having a rough day, something happened, I was very emotional. I wanted to curl up in my bed with a bucket of ice cream and watch a movie. That's exactly how I felt. I'm sure many of you know that feeling, right?
Great.
And I didn't want to work and actually do anything else. So I'm like, this line had just come out. I had just got the capsules and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it. So I took a video of myself. You could visibly see that I was upset. And I'm like, I'll come back in 20 minutes. So I took a capsule and I came back in 20 minutes. Now, what I want you to understand is the capsule version of Adaptive has natural GABA in it. So when we stress, we lose the GABA in our body. So our body naturally produces it, but when we stress, the cortisol and all that lovely stuff messes it up and eliminates that natural GABA. So that's why our emotions kick in and, you know, we're not feeling great. So by taking the capsule, you're getting some plants, you're getting some oils, and you're getting that natural GABA back into your body, which is pretty cool. So I took the capsule, 20 minutes later, I came back on. And I've watched the videos a couple times. Night and day, I was a different person. It literally helped me adapt to the situation that I was dealing with, push it off aside, and I was able to continue with my day. So for me, the Adaptive is situational. I definitely take it the week before my period starts because it definitely helps. But some people need to take it every day. Some people have that chronic stress, that chronic anxiety, emotion, all of that so regular that they need that help every day. And it really does make a difference. In many parts of the world, more people today report experiencing negative experiences, which includes physical pain, worry, sadness, stress, and anger on a daily basis. So if that is one of you, you're not alone. There are so many people that deal with stress daily. So what is causing everyone to feel so stressed and burnt out? Is it our jobs? Is it, that both family, like the husband and wife are working, or the spouse, whatever? There's so many different factors, and women specifically really need to look at their hormones. So this next slide just gives a little bit more breakdown of each thing. So the adaptive calming blend capsules, it calms, promotes positive feelings, supports your mood, and helps improve your state of mind, which 100% it did for me. It encourages relaxation and mental well-being, and it supports cognitive function and emotional balance. It also helps when acclimating to new surroundings and adapting to stressful situations. Really good supplement when you're not good with change as well. The oil itself seems very similar, helps boost the mood. It smells amazing. So I want to tell you another story. They did a study before they brought this out, and they put kids into 2 separate rooms. This product is really great for kids and focus. And what they did was they put the diffuser on in one room with adaptive in it, and in the other room, they put the diffuser on with water. So what happened was they threw out all these different questions and tests to each kid in each room. The kids that had the adaptive in the diffuser were able to handle things as they came, and the kids that had the water in the diffuser were super upset and very scattered and very emotional. So it really does reduce feelings of anxiousness, tension, calming, relaxing. It's just an amazing essential oil. Diffuser blend. So diffusing, when we are talking about stress, sleep, and emotions, I want you guys to write down one of the most important thing is diffusing. These are some great blends that you can throw together in the diffuser that I absolutely love. Now, I do have a PDF for this class, so I can send it to you, Stacy. And if anyone's interested in it, it gives you just a little update as to what I spoke about. Awesome. But this is a really good one. I really recommend trying any of these. And if you don't have doTERRA oils and you would like to know what a similar oil would compare to, if you just Google it, it usually will come up with something. So next on the list, let's talk about some ways we can help do this. So like I said, eating healthy makes a big difference. Sticking to a schedule and a routine. Don't you find that when you are organized and you have things planned out, that your life just feels so much better? Exercising. Who doesn't feel better after exercising? I need to exercise in the morning because it really does start my day off. Stress can really negatively affect every part of your body. So including your muscular skeletal system, respiratory, cardiovascular, endocrine, gastrointestinal, nervous, and both female and male reproductive systems as well. So this is why it's so important to get it under control, because it literally affects anything and everything in your body. So here are some ways ongoing stress can lead to discomfort and disease. So it can cause headaches, migraines. It can make it harder to sleep and cause fatigue, triggers digestive issues such as stomach aches or IBS, can lead to overeating, weight gain, sporadic eating patterns, skipping meals, makes it more likely that people favor sedentary activities and they don't exercise. Just like I said, when I was upset, what did I want to do? I wanted to curl up on a couch and eat a bucket of ice cream. It's not healthy. It's definitely not healthy, but it's comfort food, right? When you're upset or you're isolated or you're lonely, that's just what you want to do. Think of what we've all been dealing with in the last year. We've been stuck in our house, and what is probably one of the things that has improved. A lot of people definitely have been exercising, but guess what else we've been doing? We've also been eating more, right? We're home all night. We have so much more time on our hands. So it's super important to plan, to organize, to eat healthy, limit screen time. I bet you we've watched more TV in the last year than we've watched in a lifetime because we've been home. This is the first time ever. So you really have to look at what your life looks like and how you can manage it, how you can alter it to help make it better. So this is another great supplement. It is called our Serenity capsules. So we were talking about the Serenity oil and how beneficial it is to help calm and relax. This is great to take at night. It relieves occasional sleeplessness, promotes healthy relaxation and sleep, encourages restful sleep. So meaning you're going to sleep longer and more restful during the night. And it helps make a difference in your nervous system. It calms it down. It reduces stress. I find when I'm stressed, you really notice it at night because you go to lay down and then your brain just turns on and you think of all the things that you didn't get done, right? You didn't accomplish. And then your brain starts going into something else and making lists, and then you don't fall asleep. So this is a really good thing, whether it's something that happens daily or you just take it because you know you've had a busy day and you need to shut off your brain. Copaiba soft gels are also very similar. So I actually don't use the soft gels very often at night. What I do is I do a drop under my tongue. So Copaiba calms the nervous system, but it also soothes anxious feelings. So if you're soothing the anxious feelings before you go to sleep, guess what happens? It promotes homeostasis and rest. And then the Serenity soft gels promote healthy relaxation. So even if you don't have the soft gels, you can use Copaiba or you can use lavender in the same way. Put a drop under your tongue, put it on your wrists, breathe it in. All of the above is going to benefit you. doTERRA is an oil company, but we have a ton of supplements, and our Lifelong Vitality is actually our #1 product out there, and it's a vitamin supplement. So looking at your life, looking at what is missing, looking at what needs to be removed is so beneficial to feeling good. Another great one is the Yarrow Palm. It promotes cellular health. It supports your brain and your skin all at once. And then we've got our essential oils, of course. My favorite oil is bergamot. It is very calming. It's a citrus oil. It smells amazing, and it's a natural sedative. So using frankincense, vetiver, bergamot, and Roman chamomile together is going to help soothe and settle your mind. Frankincense, for those of you who don't know, is the king of oils, and it does anything and everything. So if you were only to have one essential oil, I would tell you to buy frankincense. It's quite expensive, but it is there for a purpose. It can literally do everything. It's an amazing oil. I love vetiver. I actually blend vetiver with Serenity, and it changes the way Serenity smells. So it's a woodsy and a floral mixed together. It's a really nice natural tranquilizer. Stops your mind chatter. So when your brain is busy, using vetiver is awesome. It is a thick essential oil. So when you are putting it in the diffuser, you need to make sure you have a good diffuser because it can clog up the crappy ones. So combine 20 drops of each of these 4 oils in a roller, fill it up with fractionated coconut oil, apply to all your pulse points, your feet, your big toe, your heart, your palms, your hand, your pillow. Inhale deeply with slow, deep breaths, and this is going to help you fall asleep. It's amazing. This is a sample wellness box. Now this price is in American because we don't have all of the supplements in Canada as of yet, but we are super lucky. We can order out of the US warehouse and the Canadian warehouse. So for someone who wanted to focus on stress, sleep, and emotions, this is a great starter. It's going to give you the Adaptive Collection, Wild Orange, Copaiba, and Balance together. We also have, this is fairly new, we have a bunch of wellness programs. So these are kits that are already made and combined together. So it gets wellness delivered straight to your door with these special kits. So say sleep was your issue, you would get the sleep kit. It gives you some Epsom salts, it gives you an eye patch, it gives you some sleep oils, Serenity tablets. If you wanted to focus on relief, aches and pains, you would look at the relief one. Or if you wanted to look at anxiety and stress, mind and mood. So these are really great options that if you don't know a ton about essential oils and you don't want to research, you can literally just look at these programs and be like, oh, perfect, respiratory. That's what I want to focus on and go from there. So this just gives a little bit more info on the products that are in there. So these two kits would be the focus for what we're talking about today, helping with your mind and mood, helping with your sleep. The mind and mood is going to cover your emotions and your stress in there. We've talked about adaptive. We've talked about balance. They're pretty cool kits. So
Yeah,
that is it. So I will unshare my screen. Give me 1 second here. There we go. I'm back. So that, I know it's a lot of information. There's a lot of oils. There's a lot of different things we've talked about. But it just gives you a little idea of some options to use. Did you see any, Stacey, that you recognize that you use in your house?
Well, I know I have copaiba. How do you say that one?
Well, I think it's copaiba, but I always say copaiba.
Copaiba.
Yeah.
I have like a couple of those in my cabinet, and I'm like, why? Remember I told you in our last session, I'm like, I have a bunch of oils. I'm like, yes, that one looks really great. And by the time I get it, I'm like, what is
Why do
do
I have
again?
So for us, copaiba is a natural pain reliever. So we don't have Tylenol and Advil in our house. We have turmeric, copaiba, we have essential oils. So it is great for your nervous system. So my son broke his shoulder and he didn't want to take anything, which I was quite surprised. I'm like, it's okay, buddy. Your shoulder is down here. Like, you can do whatever you want. And, we'll try to manage it later on. And he's like, no, I'm good. So we did our little ritual and he was good to go. It calmed his nervous system down so that his shoulder was able to heal. And it's pretty crazy. Same with turmeric. It's an anti-inflammatory. So, and then copaiba also helps you sleep. So I guess because it's calming your nervous system down, it's relaxing your body, which then in turn is helping you go to sleep. So I take it under the tongue. I do have the capsules just for the kids. They don't like the taste of it. It's very woodsy. So if you don't have the capsules, you can just buy empty veggie capsules and then fill your own, because it's not a lovely taste at all. But again, it's there for a purpose. So if you're struggling, you'll do anything, right?
Yeah. And your capsules with doTERRA. So I'm part of Young Living. And I haven't really dived into the nutritional supplementation side of things, except for the Ninja Red juice.
Yep.
But curiosity, with your supplements with doTERRA, are they like filled with the essential oil in the capsule themselves, or is it got like another way that they produce it?
So there's different ones. So copaiba specifically is just the oil. Serenity is just oil. The adaptive is plants and oils. Our lifelong vitality, which is our supplements, your omegas. So the omega is oils. There's a combination of plant and oils in that. The turmeric is actually, it's really cool. It's a double encapsulated case, and half the capsule has oil and half the capsule has plant. So with turmeric, you really want to have the plant as well, because it has the curcumin in it. So the curcumin is super beneficial for anti-inflammatory and things like that. So that is a double. Depending on which one we're talking about, they're all different. We have a deep blue, which is not the oil. It's actually plant. It'll have turmeric in there and it'll have a bunch of different things. It has some oils in there, but some of them you can tell by looking at them that it's plant just by the texture.
Oh,
so it's a combination.
That's good to know. That's really good to know. You say deep blue or something like that. I had actually just ordered an oil that, again, I don't know what the heck it does, but I always open them and I smell them and I was like, oh, smells so good. And I always go to put it on my skin, and I put like a couple drops and it was like a vibrant blue. I'm like, oh snap. I'm like, I'm like, I'm a Smurf. Like I'm like scared to put it in my diffuser because I'm scared that it's going to stain it. So I'm like, how do I even use this one? I have no clue.
What do you remember what it was called? Is it Northern Escape? Northern Lights, something like that. Yeah, so the blue oils, there's blue tansy. So our balance oil has blue tansy in it. It's blue, and then our yarrow palm is blue. So I put yarrow palm on my face every night, and if I don't use enough lotion, like I put my lotion and the yarrow palm on top, you look like a Smurf because it's so blue.
There's no way I'm putting this on my face because it literally stained my arm for like a good 3 or 4 hours. So
What
it's
is it?
blue yarrow?
Oh, blue yarrow. So it's similar to ours. So ours is yarrow palm. So it probably has blue tansy in it, and it probably has could have pomegranate in it too. But yeah, that's actually, you want that on your face.
On my face?
Yeah. So if depending on what's in it, like open it later and tell me what's in it, and I can tell you, but it's for your skin. Yarrow palm is amazing for your skin, and so is blue tansy. So you just want to make sure that you have a lot of lotion, put your 2 drops, and you have to really, like, you don't do it in the morning, you do it before bed. And you have to really massage it in. And if you still feel you look blue, put some more lotion on. But you will lose all, like if you had sunspots, bright, it's an amazing oil.
Okay, but you got to be brave.
You have to be brave. And if you drop that and break that on your floor, get to it quick. Because if that seeps into your, if you have grout, oh my gosh, it would be devastating.
Or carpet, good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like you to share, you said that you make like shower bombs or shower melts. So what is that process like? Obviously, to me, when I think of a shower melt, I'm thinking like Epsom salts kind of like goofed
Okay,
together.
let me go grab one because I have some on hand.
Awesome.
Okay, so sorry. So we have a couple different versions. We have bath balls, like what are they called? Yeah, bath bombs. Bath bombs.
Yeah.
So bath bombs, where I can't remember exactly what's in it, but you've got your baking soda, you've got stuff like that. And then my shower ones, same thing, just a little bit different. I go to the dollar store and they have the push out. Actually, I have one right here. I'll show you. The ice cube trays.
Awesome.
And they're the soft ones. So they're really easy to push out. So it's basically oil, baking soda, and a little bit of water. And you mix it, put it into your ice cube trays, let it sit, and that's it. So what I do is, so I usually in these ones, I do ones with either lavender or serenity. And then I'll do ones that have our easy air blend, which is a breathe blend. So it's like eucalyptus, lemon, peppermint. Throw that into the shower in the morning and it wakes you up. And then serenity, opposite effect, calms you down.
And
then the bath bombs.
Shower in the morning or night.
Yeah, and then the bath bombs is fun for the kids, right? It has some extra products in it, so it actually foams and does some fun things. So those are some quick, easy things that we have on hand. I make my own deodorant. I do my own body butters. I do our own hand soap, dish soap, laundry soap, everything.
That's awesome.
And you only need a few key ingredients on hand and you can make so many things. Like, it's pretty crazy. And then when you have all these oils sitting there, it makes sense to use them, right? Because there's oils like arbor vitae and, celery seed that we don't use as regular, right? So it's sitting there. So it's like, okay, what can I make with that?
So what do you use with celery seed? You cook with that?
I do. Yeah. So that goes in. I have a dropper bottle that I fill a veggie capsule with some extra oils because celery seed's really good for your metabolism. So I will put that in there. I don't like it in my smoothies because it's really strong. I really can tell the celery. But I will cook with it. I'll put it in my stew. I'll put it in chili. I'll put it in, lots of different things like that. But it's something I don't use daily, right? Whereas lemon, peppermint, balance, lavender, serenity, those are things adaptive that I'm using every single day.
So when you cook with oils, I would presume that you have to use way less than what you would typically think to use.
So citrus, you're okay. You can use, 3 to 5 drops generally in something. The first time that I cooked with oils, I used oregano and I was making meatloaf. And if anyone knows essential oils, oregano is the most potent thing. Like, people will say oil of oregano where they take it internally. You don't do that with doTERRA oils. Like, they're that potent that it needs to be in a veggie capsule. with other oils and coconut oil so that you don't burn your gut. It is so strong. So I made my meatloaf. I'm like, oh, I won't use oregano spice, the herb. I'm just going to use 4 drops of oregano because I'm like, oh, I had already mixed it. So I need it everywhere. Oh my gosh. Every form of bacteria in my house was killed by the stove cooking the meatloaf. You couldn't even you couldn't even take more than 2 chews because it was that strong. The kids walked in and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, you don't need to eat dinner. I can tell you that. So oregano specifically, more of the herbs, you take the top off, the orifice, and you put a toothpick in. And then that toothpick, you would mix through your whole thing. Whereas I did 4 drops.
So you typically just dip your toothpick for oregano. I would never.
Oregano,
I would
basil,
be making the same mistake. Like
peppermint, you're okay. Like peppermint, you can get away. I do peppermint brownies and I do a chocolate peppermint mousse and things like that. You're okay with 3 drops, as long as you like peppermint. But any of the herbs, things like that, and you're baking with, you definitely have to be like celery seed, you would do 1 drop.
Right.
2 drops, you might be too much depending on the person, but it's definitely, you know, whereas wild orange, I could put 4 in my water and still love it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So does doTERRA offer like an essential oils cookbook? Because I'm like, my curiosity is like piqued.
Yes. So doTERRA specifically has the cookbook for our nutritional lines. So we have smoothies like protein powder, fibers, greens, things like that. So they have a cookbook for that. I have a cookbook. I have a bunch of different books, like ebooks that I have that I can send out as well. It just gives you some generic ways that you can use oils. We have a set of 3 that is basically blends of oils for cooking. And it's one of them is like an Italian, one's Mexican, and one was tropical. So we have a cookbook for that, you know, so we have lots of options for sure.
That's awesome. So I've been with Young Living for many, many years, but I'm just a consumer. And I have oils everywhere, my drawers and my cupboards, they're everywhere. And I want to be able to put them more into use into my day-to-day life, because right now I just diffuse, or I'll throw them on in my hot spots, because, you know, when you get a headache, I go for the peppermint oil or wintergreen after a chiro appointment, just to kind of relax the muscles. So yeah, I absolutely love what you've shared today. And I'm really interested there was that one product, because my daughter's been really struggling with she just recently was diagnosed with ADHD. And so your adaptive line has the natural GABA in it. Like, she's taking a supplement with GABA, but I would presume that the supplement that she's taking is
chemical.
It's got all the extra additives and different things that I told her, because she just ordered it off of Amazon, and I'm like, I get that you just want to start somewhere, and that's great, but I know that there's better quality of stuff out there for your brain support. So I'm going to look into that for sure.
I have some testimonials that I can send to you specifically for ADHD. Adaptive is great. Our Motivate roller is great. And the oil, what's the other one? In Tune. In Tune is a blend that we have that's already a pre-made roller. It is amazing for ADHD. The combined 3, and then vetiver. Vetiver is really good as well. So sorry, 4. Those 4 oils and products are the top 4 that my customers would use for that. I can send you some testimonials if you want anything on that, but it's really great. Now, something like ADHD, how old is she? She's the same as my daughter, wasn't she?
24.
Oh, she's older. Okay, so perfect. She's at the age where she can feel it coming on probably, right? And she knows when she loses focus in that. So a daily routine is very important for something like that is there all the time, right? So if she's working or she's in school, she needs to be putting it on in the morning, balance, motivate, in tune. You know, if she's going into a stressful situation, or, you know, say a boardroom or a classroom where she needs to sit and listen, she's going to want to put oils on to help her. So it's huge when you have anything that's there daily, that making a routine of it makes such a difference in the world. And for
Yeah.
you, with all the oils you have, you know, you want to think of things you want to remove, things you want to improve on, and maybe eliminate in your house. And we can make rollers, you can make sprays. I have tons of recipes for a million different things that if you're willing, there's so many things that you can do with the oils you have. But it's getting in that habit, in that routine, you know, grab the balance in the morning, put it on, put the serenity on at night, spray my pillows, add it to my bath, add it to my water, you know, all those things make such a difference.
I know that Norwex, like I buy a mattress spray from Norwex, but I'm pretty sure that you would probably be able to put up together and spray I can make from home.
Oh, you already have the oils. You just need a spray bottle and some distilled water.
There you
Done.
go. Because I think it's important to have, like, if you're going to be improving your sleep, you need to make sure that your bed is like bacteria free. And it is disgusting to know how much bacteria is in our mattresses.
I know. It's the one thing that you don't like to talk about, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. I have a bunch of different like carpet versions that you can put on your mattress and vacuum up and stuff like that with the oils. But yeah, spraying them. There's so many things you can do. It's just figuring out where do you want to start, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was my medicine cabinet and getting rid of candles. That was an easy fix for me. And then it was like, okay, there's an oil for everything, but how do I get rid of my allergies? I was lacking nutrients. I needed supplements. Got rid of them instantly, you know, and then it's like,
to exercise. Do you have something for that?
I do. You need motivate. You need the motivate oil. Don't we all? But you know what? It's like one extreme to the other. You have to get the motivation to start it. But once you get into the routine, you're almost addicted, right? And you got to come down the other way. There's got to be like this middle balance of, you know, and being stuck at home. Oh my goodness. Like this is the craziest. This is something that, you know, maybe everyone dealt with once a week. You know, you're now majority of people are dealing with these issues every single day.
Yeah. And I don't think we took as much care into our homes because we didn't spend as much time in them. Right. So all the toxic stuff that we're surrounding ourselves with. I know my mother-in-law, she lives on her own, and recently my sister-in-law went to go see her, and her veins are like popping out of her feet, and she's losing color within her legs because she's not getting out. Like, she's a go-getter typically, but she works with adults with disabilities. So she's very, very cautious. Like, she doesn't go anywhere because she wants to make sure that her clients are kept safe. And so she and she also does like the Febreze in her like plugins, and she's also a smoker. She's cut back a lot, God bless her soul, like for doing that, because that's a lot of work for someone that's smoking their whole lives. But she's still ingesting those toxic chemicals. And then she also has all that Febreze in, like, you go in her house and within 5 minutes you've got a splitting headache and you feel like throwing up.
So those are simple things that we can change, right? Getting the diffuser, putting natural products in it. When you eliminate the toxins out of your life, it is amazing when you walk by Bath and Body Works or you go into someone's house that has chemical stuff. Even my son's girlfriend, she has body sprays. They just about kill me.
Yeah.
Because we've eliminated so much. Our bodies are just like, whoa, what is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy. So just imagine, you know, like when you swap out your laundry soap, it takes weeks and weeks to get these chemicals out of your clothes. And then when you finally get them out there, it is amazing the difference. It's amazing the difference with how little you have to clean now when you eliminate the chemicals. It is wild. It's pretty crazy. But there's simple things, you know, like a body spray, distilled water and oils. That's all you need.
Yeah, or I just drop them on.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like there's so many different ways. It's just educating people that there's other options. We didn't know any different.
That's right.
Right? We were told you go to Shoppers, you go to Bath and Body and you buy your stuff.
Yeah.
You assume that everything that is out there is safe for you, but 100% it is not.
That's
true. You have to
know
what's bad and you have to be able to read labels.
Yeah, that's another story. That's another conversation in
I
itself
know.
for
Well, that's
sure.
why it's great if you can make your own things because you know what you're putting into it, right? It
Yeah.
makes a world of difference.
So Lisa, if anybody's wanting to jump in and pick up some of these products or to get to learn more, how do they get in touch with you, love?
So probably the best would be I can give you my cell number or my email. I can give you my Instagram, whatever you think would be easier. Did you want me to just give you all of them and you can decide which one to use or?
Yeah, whatever you feel more comfortable sharing with the community. Because it will go into this video and I will have it available for them to be able to reach out to you. And you also mentioned that if anybody wanted to, I think it was a starter pack that you had a discount available for them if
Yep.
they wanted to embrace some of this natural living lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. Did you want me to send you that after and I can show you some options?
Yeah,
Is that easier? And then you can
sure.
add it or
And
have
then
it.
I
And then I
can,
can send you the PDF too for this class.
that sounds
But
lovely.
my Instagram is probably where I'm most active. It's at Clean Living Lisa English.
At Clean Living.
Lisa English.
Awesome.
And then my email is lenglish1979@gmail.com. And I have a ton of, like I send out email campaigns, text campaigns, if they want to learn more and they want to focus on cleaning, I have campaigns for that. It's just a matter of putting a name, a phone number. If they want to sample something, we're actually doing an oil experience sample week where we send out sample packages, which I do all the time, but we specifically have a Facebook group and every day there's a different video and there's prizes to be won. So that's another opportunity. So I can send you an email and you can pick whatever out of there that you want. I can send you the link for the starter kits if they want to get the 15% off and yeah, go from there.
Great. And also, Lisa mentioned to me when we were discussing her coming and sharing with the community that she does these do-it-yourself workshops where you would buy already pre-meditated kit to be able to make some of your shower bath bombs or to make some of the household items that you've been able to replace. I think there was something else that you had mentioned in there that you do like in your do-it-yourself workshops.
Oh, I do a ton of those classes. Basically anything anyone wants. If someone's like, I want to do a perfume workshop, I'm like, okay, let's do it. You want to do a cleaning one, you want to do whatever. I'm willing to do whatever. I have videos on them too. I have a YouTube account, so I can send you that info. If I have a lot of DIY videos on there to show people how easy it really is.
Oh, I love all the stuff that you're offering to the community today, Lisa. I'm excited for people to actually embrace some of these healthy living products into their home and just to know the value of combating the stress so that you can improve your sleep and taking inventory of your emotions, knowing like if that time of the month is something that you know is coming, your emotions. I that was one huge shift in my marriage actually, because 2 weeks before I would get to my time of the month, I would get super insecure, and guaranteed it was because I was feeling bloated and not feeling very pretty and not feeling, everything's kind of like getting sketchy. And it would happen 2 weeks prior. But once I started actually connecting the dots and tracking my cycle and knowing exactly the moods and how everything was fluctuating, I started recognizing what was going on. Instead of me actually going into like freak out mode and going crazy and driving my husband mad, I started to recognize like, yeah, it's that time of the month. I need to support myself. So a little bit of self-care, some little love. I need some R&R, whatever it is that you need in order to actually support yourself, knowing that you're coming into that space where emotions are going to be a lot more sensitive, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know what? We can't control everything, but those are the simple ones that, start making notes. When do you start to lose it? If I look back at every single time I've lost my marbles on my kids or my husband, it's the week before my period every single time, right? I'm like, guys, put it in your calendar to just stay away from mommy.
Yeah,
Right?
she's on a holiday this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate your time today, and I am looking forward to our next connection because I do believe that this is a start of a long, ongoing relationship that we've established here today. I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was awesome. I hope I helped someone out there or made them realize that, there's so many women that feel the same, and there's so many ways that we can help. So it's just figuring out what are your biggest issues and let's start tackling them. So
Yeah. Thank you again, darling. I appreciate you.
no problem. I will send you off an email with that information then.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Have a great day.
You too.